anyone can talk about how Shedeur Sanders went to the 5th round. I mean, guys, that's the elephant in the room. Like, I don't know what else to say. But the fact he got prank called, man, that's tough. Anyway, though, let's get this thing rolling.
Around the whole stage.
All right.
I respect that.
Very good. Who's fucking with him?
Come on.
This is a special pick, not just because it's the Packers. This young man is here today, so we want to introduce him. So give him a good round of applause.
Play and set the edge. That's a defensive end. If you can line up
I like to say, I think it's disgusting. I don't understand what the heck's going on with this. 5th player on my board. It's never happened before in 47 years for a player that high has dropped this far.
Look at this dude.
This is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints.
No.
How you doing?
You're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man. Okay.
What are you saying? I don't know. How you possibly you said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun of L. Of course, please like and subscribe if you guys enjoy what should be a fun video. Obviously, as we go through the first round of this draft, again, there were 32 picks. It wasn't like there was nothing tampering or anything like that. Anyway, though, before, of course, we get into all this madness and, you know, all the picks, I just wanted to mention, yes, again, we will be going through every single NFL team's, you know, their entire drafts. Again, we're going in entirety next Sunday. So, yeah, get ready for that. That'll be when the actual draft grades do, in fact, come out. But, again, this is just, my reaction in the first round and all that happened with that. Again, the Shedeur Sanders thing, again, we'll get to it when we get to it. Again, the Browns' entire draft class will be very fun to talk about. But until we get there, yeah, here's your top 10 picks.
With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback, Miami.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Hunter, wide receiver.
NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Abdul Carter, defensive end, Penn State. In the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell, tackle, LSU. The Cleveland Browns select Mason Graham, defensive tackle, 25 NFL Draft. The Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton Genty, running back. Boise select Armand Membu, Missouri, tackle. In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Teteroa McMillan. Wide receiver, Arizona Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle, Texas. The Chicago Bears select Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan.
Going through the top 10 picks, the number 1 overall pick, again, was Cam Ward. That really wasn't anything special. Again, if you want me to, again, give me like an initial grade for, I don't know, a freaking B. He's not, like last year, I don't think he would have been the best quarterback. Maybe he would be the second best. You could argue. I don't know. Physical traits-wise, he's not as good as really any of the top 3 guys there, of course, with, you know, Caleb Williams, Drake May, and, you know, all those shenanigans. But outside of that, like, I mean, maybe you could make the justification that he's there, but that's really besides the point. They needed a quarterback. They got their guy. He was number 1 on my big board, 11. Yeah, 81.8 grade. So, yeah, if he sucks this year, I mean, he sucks, but, like, he's the number 1 overall pick for a reason. So, yep, Titans make the right decision there. They got the franchise quarterback. We'll see what they do with Will Levis. That's that. Really nothing insane there. All right, before we get into, again, the Jags obviously trading up for Travis Hunter, because, I mean, that's what they were going to do either way, even if they did trade up here. Let's talk about what they gave up here. So, they gave up the number 5 pick, obviously. Second rounder, which I don't know who the Browns took. Who the heck was it? It was somebody. We'll get to that next week. But, again, we're just going as a whole, because this is part of, again, when you trade up for a guy, again, I don't care how good he is, even if he is Travis Hunter, we got to see what you gave up for him. So, yeah, the second round pick, I don't know who they picked with that. We'll see. Fourth rounder as well. Again, this is a haul. And they give up first rounder next year. And, again, if the Jags suck, well, I don't know. Again, the Browns get the number 2 pick, and then a 4th rounder and a 6th rounder this year as well. So for the Jags in this deal, they gave up a decent chunk of this year's draft and that first rounder next year, which is a big pick because Let's be honest, guys. Do we really think the Jaguars, even with Travis Hunter now, are like they're that good? Like, let's be honest with that. Like, just don't really know. But yes, it does feel a very big void in that secondary because I don't. Oh yeah, there's Travis Hunter. He will be their. He will be their number 2 corner when he is healthy. Jarian Jones, I love you, guy. If this doesn't geek out, I love Jarian Jones, guys. But like, is he really your true number 2 corner? And obviously, yeah, Travis Hunter is one of the better receivers as well. But with that said, he does fill a decent need for them. But do I think the Jags, again, yes, they got the best player in the draft. You're always going to be happy with that. But that sort of haul just to fill a position where I think they could have gotten Ashton Genty at 5 and maybe, figured something out there. Or I don't even know, freaking Mason Graham, you could argue too. What I would say with that sort of haul, I understand who they got with this. Like, I very well understand it. But they're going for their guy. But, like, having Tyson Campbell there, like, I just don't love the move, and I'll be completely honest with you guys. But at the same time, it's Travis Hunter, so you're going to be okay with it. But, like, that's just a freaking haul, let's be honest there. All right, Giants through without Carter. I'm completely fine with that. The only issue is, can they actually put him out there as an every down player? We'll see how that works out. It is very good, though. If they do keep Kayvon Thibodeau, those guys will again be very available there, obviously. And you'll have Brian Burns out there as well. So I think Abdul Carter definitely have the chance to definitely develop a little bit more. He needs that bull rush to start to materialize, or I don't think he will be an elite player. But at the same time, he's got elite traits. There's a reason he what was he on my big board? 4, freaking 3. Yeah, there's a reason for that. So. Don't get me too confused. This is a very good pick for the Giants, who, again, could use some depth. I wouldn't even say depth. He's the best player on the board. The Giants need good players, obviously, there. All right, 4th with the Patriots, they took Will Campbell to be the franchise left tackle. Do I love him as the dude to be that? I don't really know. There isn't a guy in this draft, in my opinion, who, again, is a true bona fide stud left tackle, to be completely honest with you guys there. But Will Campbell, again, is the closest thing to it. Again, even if he does move the guard, he'll be a good player no matter what. I expect the Joe Tooney type of performance out of him at some point. But, yeah, again, very, very good player. You can't really complain about the pick. He fit their scheme better than Amar Membo. I mean, yeah, Amar Membo overall probably is a better player when it comes down to it. But again, he wouldn't succeed as much as a guy like Will Campbell, I think, can. They need that franchise left tackle, so you're going to be good with that. All right, last guy we'll be talking about here, top 5, is, again, Mason Graham. The Browns, again, traded back here. Who are like, what do they really need here? I would have liked if they would have took a crack at an edge rusher there. Again, why didn't they just take, what's his name at number 2? What is it called? Abdul Carter. But at the same time, again, they still got Mason Graham, who is a very, very good defensive tackle. They do need some interior pass rush help for sure. But at the same time, you could say just why didn't they take Abdul Carter? But that's besides the point. They, again, got a haul. They need picks. They need to improve their team. Very bizarre for us to draft. Again, we'll talk about that quarterback situation in depth next Sunday. But with that said, again, that's going to be a long one. That's all I got, yeah. I'm not again, the biggest fan of this Mason Graham pick. You'll just go with it. Ashton Genty really couldn't have asked for much more there. Again, at number 6 for the Raiders. Again, he was on the board for them. He was their best player. They need a running back. Basically a perfect fit there. Nothing much more to go off of there. Jets at 7, they could have done a couple different things. Again, taking Ted McMillan there at 7 wouldn't have been a bad pick either. I don't even know. Maybe if they went off to Jalen Walker, I would be pretty okay with that. But I remember Membo, again, was on their board there. Probably their best player if I had to guess. He's number 5 on mine. So overall, great pick for them there. Again, they needed a tackle. Got the guy there. Ted McMillan at 8 is definitely an interesting pick for the Panthers, who already have, I wouldn't say a crowded receiver room, but a receiver room at the very least. So, again, when we look at this, they have, again, a guy like Adam Thielen and Xavier Legette there. Yeah, Jalen Coker, number 3, probably not. So, again, you make, again, a Tet there. But at the same time, I don't know if Xavier Legette will be able to be that number 2 receiver there, again, with a guy like Adam Thielen. Again, he's old, but still he'll be a reliable enough guy where I don't know if Bryce Young will want to get the ball to Xavier Legette as much. But, yes, Ted McMillan, I don't know if he's going to be a true number 1 receiver for them here as a rookie. We'll just have to wait and see. But overall, for that pick, you got to be somewhat okay with it, but I don't know. A little questionable considering there were other things, especially, again, like with that defense, which they definitely could have addressed there, linebacker, which would have been a lot more, suffice. Anyway, though, 9 for the Saints, Calvin Banks Jr. I don't really like this pick, to be honest with you guys. We look at offensive tackle in this draft class. Yes, it's Calvin Banks. Where are we going? Yes, it's Calvin Banks, my third best tackle in this class. Yes, but at the same time, I honestly wouldn't have been mad if they took Jackson Dart here or something like that. He was in my mock draft. I was very close until this pick. So, but yeah, they took him. They do need a tackle. Trevor Penning can't really be their starter, so you kind of got to be good with that. But at the same time, you could argue they could have took a receiver even. No, probably not. But there were definitely other options for them taking a tackle. But again, you'll be good with that either way. Tentatives, Bears, Colson Lovin. Just so you know, don't like that pick at all. Cole Kmet, yes, he's not the greatest tight end in the world. I get that, but I don't really know what Colson Lovin achieves for you when you could have picked like 4 or 5 different edge rushers that I definitely have over him. Like, where's Colson Lovin on my big board? Yeah, he's number 24, guys. I just don't really see the value here. Yes, I get Tyler Warren's a very good player. I just don't know if he would have even been great, made too much sense here. I just don't think the Bears made the best decision here at 10. Well, that's all I got for your top 10 picks. Let's get to 11 to 20.
NFL Draft. The San Francisco 49ers select Michael Williams, defensive end, Georgia. NFL Draft. The Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Booker, guard, Alabama. The 2025 NFL Draft. The Miami Dolphins select Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State, pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Atlanta Falcons select Jalen Walker, defensive end, Georgia. Cardinals select Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Mississippi.
All right, so they go interior defensive.
Pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Cincinnati Bengals select Shamar Stewart, defensive end, Texas A&M. In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Gray Zabel, guard. North 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver.
NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Jahdae Barron, DB, Texas.
Outside of, I don't know, no one trading into these spots, again, in terms of for Shedeur Sanders, really nothing insane in terms of we're talking about any, in big trades, because there actually weren't any trades in this set of picks here. But overall, a lot of still questionable picks, in my opinion. First off, Micah Williams at 11 to the Niners. I'm happy they picked him. That really helps me out. Or not me out, the Rams out. So, again, we go over the 49ers depth chart. Let's look at their edge rushing group right now. Yes, Nick Bosa, he's one of the best edge rushers in the league. We get that. Robert Beal Jr., not great. Yetur Gross-Matos, not great. So, yes, is driving Michael Williams addressing a need? Absolutely. But let's look at the positional rankings. Again, this is just, my ranking. So, you can go with the lighter ranking. Michael Williams is my 7th guy. They could have took 6, 7. They could have taken Devin, not Devin. Donovan Azirika here at 6, which I would have, again, he's my 6th guy. I would have been okay. I wouldn't have loved that. Shamar Stewart, I think, would have been the better pick here. Maybe not James Pierce Jr. Mike Green and Jalen Walker also could have fit. I will say, though, I don't know if a guy like, Nick Martin, I don't really like either, as a starter. I mean, again, we'll see what he does, but, don't love that. I don't know why they didn't take Jalen Walker, to be honest with you guys. Again, the scheme, is a little bit wonky there for the Niners at 11. But, again, Michael Williams, I like him. He's a decent player, but he's not a guy who will be this explosive number 1 guy for them and can get consistent production at a level. A guy like Mike Green could, who, again, is my number, what was he on my big board? Freaking 8, guys. This is just not a great pick by the Niners. It was just a complete reach. I will say Michael's a pretty decent prospect. Again, he's not, again, number 34 is somewhat respectable overall, but again, taking him at 11, just not the right pick for them. 12 Cowboys, Tyler Booker. Again, this is probably one of the worst picks in the first round, guys. Yes, Tyler Booker is a solid player. I mean, I definitely say so. But the fact that 7 picks later, the Seahawks got a better player in again, Gray Zabel, who is arguably a top 10 prospect. Not top 10. Arguably, yeah, honestly, arguably top 10 guy there. Is definitely something that I think was a big miss by them. Tyler Booker's my number 8 guy, guys. He's my number 4 on the interior. Marcus Mabo, I understood why I felt he has some injury concerns, so again, that's a little bit skewed. But yes, Donovan Jackson even is better than him, and he was picked later. So, yes, Tyler Booker, not a very good pick by the Cowboys. You're not going to be able to move him out to tackle even if you wanted to, too. Again, I understand he should be a solid player in the league, guys, but he's not going to really provide you any upside. And so we're talking, again, big-time players. But, again, I guess they can do what they want there. Dolphin 13, Kenneth Grant, also wasn't a huge fan of this pick. I think I definitely undervalue what teams thought these interior defensive lineman class. I didn't think this was, again, the greatest class for that. But, again, overall, it's still, again, pretty strong overall, like I said. But, Kenneth Grant was my number 2 guy, so again, you could probably argue that. But again, for what this, what is called, the Dolphins are really trying to get after in terms of a pass rushing guy, don't know if I love that. But again, they do need to strengthen the run defense, so again, you could say that's good as well. But again, in terms of upside on this pick, I don't love it overall. But Kenneth Grant's still a great player, so again, they made a decent pick there. Close with Tyler Warren. I honestly could probably give him an A+ here. So yes, Tyler Warren will not, again, really fit too well into the scheme of them actually wanting to be able to run the football down the hill as much as, again, I think they'll definitely need to, again, with that quarterback situation. But obviously, he's going to provide, again, production at tight end that they really haven't had since, you could argue, even before Jack Doyle in terms of the upside. He might be the best tight end they've had in, a really long time. I just got to preface that. But on the other side for the Colts, again, he's going to be a little bit of an issue in terms of, again, how you're going to really use him as a chess piece. That's why a guy like Colson Loveland being here would make a lot more sense. But at the same time, Tyler Warren is the best tight end in this draft class. They got a really good guy here, just a huge need. Again, Barron was my mock here, so again, I'm okay with that. I think they're going to be a little bit ignorant in like their tight end issue. But hey, they got their guy. We'll see how they fit him into their run scheme. But overall, he's a great prospect, really good pick by them. 15, Jalen Walker, the Falcons, probably one of the best picks of the first round. I mean, they didn't really make up for it. They kind of like botched it later. We'll get to that again after we get through the rest of these top 20 picks. But Jalen Walker's very versatile. I don't know if he will be that guy for them who can just like straight up line up every down and just get pressure. I like that because he will be their number one edge rusher. It's really just not even that close. Having a guy like Leonard Floyd, though, I do consider a guy who can get pretty consistent pressure will help him out a lot. He's a guy who can play inside as well. Again, you look at these linebackers. Yes, Caden Ellis and Divine Diablo are both solid players, so there's depth there. But the fact you can move Jalen Walker around, have him on the field every single down, I think is really big. Probably one of the better picks. Again, very versatile for him. Every rest is a big need there. 16 for the Cardinals, and Walter Nolan is definitely an interesting pick overall. Cardinals needed defense, again, big time here. But again, I think Jahad Barron would have been a great pick here as well. You could have even went linebacker, if I'm being completely honest. Jahad Campbell wouldn't have been a bad pick. And you could argue they could have even took Matthew Golden if you really were feeling about it. But again, the biggest thing with the Cardinals defense right now is they just don't have a huge difference maker. Walter Nolan going in there will help it a lot. But guys, Calais Campbell, again, he's on. And Bowling Eagles isn't too young either. But those guys are definitely survive around a guy like Dalvin Tomlinson, who's a solid player. I also would have liked if they went off a guy like James Pierce Jr. Again, I get he wasn't their favorite player, but at 17, ranked overall prospect here, seems like a really good, solid player there. And even again, like I said, I preface this a lot. Mike Green would have been a home run pick for them here as well. So I didn't love what they did here at 16, to be honest with you guys. But yes, he will provide some pass rush upside. 17, Bengals, Shamar Stewart. You got to really like this pick a lot, guys. Yes, I understand. Mike Green was there, but they need a power rusher big time here because you look at Sam Hubbard last year, he was lacking that big time. Again, also just not being really effective with his finesse moves as well. Sam Hubbard obviously retired, so we're not going to get too much into him. But, yes. The Bengals getting Shamar Stewart here, I do like this pick a lot, despite I don't think he will be the most effective as a rookie, to be honest with you guys. But I think this pick will definitely develop better over time. Seahawks, Gray Zabel, A-plus pick. He's going to address the big need for them. He will be a competent player for them. Again, like I said, arguable top 10 black guy on my big board. They need an interior guy. Yes, is it always greatest value? Wouldn't say so, but for what they need, got to be pretty happy with it. Bucks, very surprising pick, not taking Jahad Campbell here in 19. But they went with Emeka Egbuka, who, again, is my number 2 receiver in the draft class. So, or technically number 3. Again, you could definitely see it here. But again, Jalen McMillan, I'd argue, could be more productive as a sophomore guy than Emeka Egbuka, despite him being a pretty better prospect overall coming out. But at the same time, they wanted a receiver, so they took it. I don't love this pick, though, because Jahad Campbell would have been a perfect fit for them. But hey, they're going to do their own thing. You just kind of got to go with it. But overall, not the player, more the pick for them. I just don't love the fit. Anyway, the last pick we're talking about before we run through these. We got 20 again with Jahad Barron to the Broncos. They needed a number 2 corner again. I love Riley Moss, guys. White corners for life, I guess. But Jahad Barron will definitely boost that secondary's pedigree overall. But with that said, that's all I got for these 11 through 20 picks. Let's get to our the rest of the first round.
Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, Oregon.
And the reaction from the crowd.
NFL draft. The Los Angeles Chargers select Omarion Hampton, running back.
Time world champion Green Bay Packers. For the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver.
This crowd. Oh, baby.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver.
Select Donovan Jackson, guard, Ohio State.
All right, so
Giants select Jackson Dart, quarterback, Mississippi.
So it is the Ole Miss quarterback, Jackson.
25 NFL draft. The Atlanta Falcons select James Pierce Jr., defensive end, Tennessee.
My God!
Malachi Starks, defensive back, Georgia. Select Tyleek Williams, defensive tackle, Ohio State. 2025 NFL Draft. The the Washington Commanders select Josh Connerly Jr.
Here we go.
Tackle.
Maxwell Harrison, let's go!
And there is the aforementioned madman.
Have traded the 31st pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 31st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Eagles select Jihad Campbell, linebacker, 95 NFL Draft. The Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons, tackle, Ohio State.
All right, we're gonna start before I actually talk about all these picks. We gotta start with Derek Harmon, who's at the top, which is kind of I wouldn't say nice, but it's good to guess going to this. So again, if you haven't heard, I definitely recommend checking this out. Not again because it's good, but just so you can get more information on it. Derek Harmon, this is just it's awful. Like I mean, it's about as bad as it's horrible. But Derek Harmon, I don't know. I think it was like 2 or 3 hours after he was picked by the Steelers, his mom unfortunately passed away. This is something that you just really can't, like, you just can't, there's no way to talk about it other than, like, you just got to support him. And, yeah, it's awful. So, yes, I might not be the biggest fan of Derek Harmon, really at all, to be honest with you guys, as a football player. But as a person, you just got to root for this guy. So, well, I might not like him as a football prospect. Again, as like someone like that. Him as a person, you're just gonna have to root for. So, yeah, I hope he has a great career. But for the Steelers, again, Cam Hayward, we'll see how that turns out for them. But yeah, another pick without Shedeur Sanders. But yes, Derek Harmon, I'm rooting for you, buddy. Anyway, though, yeah, I really hope he has a great career. Anyway, though. Yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about with him. All right, 22, we do have Marion Hampton to the Chargers. Again, they already signed Najee Harris after, I don't even know what the heck's going on with J.K. Dobbins. But, yes, Najee Harris will probably get a decent amount of the carries, but Marion Hampton is a million times more fun and higher upside than Najee Harris. So, if I'm a Chargers fan, I want Marion Hampton getting 80% of the carries, no questions asked. Don't know if I love this pick that much because they still don't really have a cornerback that I completely trust. Yes, this is so geeked. Yes, did they have some success in the late rounds last year? Yes, with the guy like Cam Hart and even Tariq Still. That's really good. But Dante Jackson can't be your true number one corner. Yes, they not having a guy like what's his name? What's his name? Asante Samuel Jr. still. And for him, again, I wouldn't really call Asante Samuel Jr. a true number one corner, but he's good enough where he can fill that void. Benjamin St. Juste might be the best guy in this room for that. I'm not going to say there isn't depth at corner for this football team, but I do think that could have been an option, especially with guys who would definitely say on the higher end of the draft, Will Johnson, but I'm not going to go too deep into Will Johnson because he does have a knee issue right now. Again, people are going to be, oh yeah, Will Johnson didn't look that good last year. I will say, maybe Will Johnson wasn't as good as he was in 2023, but he was still an elite level player last year. I just got to say that. Again, the film just didn't waver as much as people might have thought. Again, there are injury concerns though, and that's always going to bump guys down, but Benjamin Morrison, again, his injuries, again, same thing with Siobhan Revel, but I would even want Azari Thomas here, or Maxwell Harrison. So, yes, was the Chargers pick here, Marion Hampton, a good pick because of the value, yes, but at the same time, I think they definitely could have went corner, and it would have been just as good as a move. You could have, you could have absolutely argued a guy like, you could have even argued a guy like Jihad Campbell. I don't love that, but for sure that would have been an option. Yeah, they still do need receiver guys. I mean, I like the guys they drafted for sure, but like, there's a lot of things going on for them right now. Anyway, though, 23 Packers, you got to love the pick of Matthew Golden. Again, I get you might say, oh yeah, the Packers, like they needed edge rush, we needed that. Yes, was wide receiver really their number one need? No, but they haven't picked the receiver in the first round. They're trying to show you, they're trying to, I wouldn't say evolve, but really just trying to put the pedal to the metal. They're trying to do something here, and you got to love the pick, especially again with the home crowd there as well. Matthew Golden is going to have hella expectations. I got to just say that right now, but I think he definitely be the guy to help jumpstart that offense. All right, Vikings at 24 picked Donovan Jackson. Again, I get it, address the need, but he's just not a guy who's just good enough to be picked there, to be honest with you guys. I don't even know where I have Donovan Jackson. He's freaking, he's way down here at 47. They could have gotten him in the second round, in my opinion, as well. Again, I get it addressed as a need, but there's a lot of other things. They could have took, like, Nick Amanawari, freaking Malachi Starks. There are a lot of other guys they could have taken here, and I just don't love this pick, despite, Donovan Jackson not being the worst prospect. Giants, Shedeur's a better quarterback than Jackson. I mean, you can't really tell me otherwise. I thought the Saints were going to be the team to pick Jackson Dart, but again, they didn't really feel like it, so they went after a guy, Calvin Meigs. But the Giants trading up, getting their quarterback. There's some hope there. My guess is Russ is going to start for some games. He's going to stink, or they just suck, and Jackson Dart will come in somewhere in the middle of the season. Anyway, though, he's a better quarterback prospect in terms of, maybe not being picked that high. Again, Giants would definitely have a little more confidence in Daniel Jones. But, yes, Jackson Dart overall is a guy who's going to be able to sling the rock around a little bit. But, again, in terms of first-round quarterback grade, not so much. All right. We have 3 trades to talk about. Let's just, screw it. We'll get to these other picks, which I don't really have too many opinions on, to be honest with you guys. But 26, 31, and 32, we'll talk about that. First things first. The Rams fleeced the freaking Falcons. I mean, you can't really argue it otherwise. The Falcons, yes, again, they got the 26th pick. Cool. They took James Pierce Jr. Like that. True rookie edge rushers. James Pierce Jr. is a first-round grade for sure. Like the actual pick or player. But the fact you trade... again, you sent your second-round pick, a 7th-round pick, and then you gave up the first-round pick, which, again, if Michael Penix doesn't get it work out and gets injured, or you guys just straight up suck next year, you're cooked. Because that means the Rams are going to have your pick, and they're probably going to pick Ark Manning. So, yeah. Again, they did receive a third-round pick. I really don't care about that. The Rams are in a different spot than the Falcons team are. Considering the Falcons gave up a first-round pick for a guy like James Pierce Jr., who, again, I think will be a solid player, but will not be getting that type of production in terms of what we're going to see out of him as in his first year is just absolutely insane to me. You could argue, I don't know if it would actually happen, that he would have fallen there. Maybe not. It could definitely have been possible, but... that was just a horrible trade on the Falcons' part, and the Rams fleeced him, so you got to be happy with that. All right, I don't know what the hell the Eagles and the freaking Chiefs were doing there at the end of the draft, but they did make a trade, which was that third trade of the first round. Very bizarre, but the Eagles got probably one of the best picks of the first round, Jahad Campbell, who, again, I don't have an insanely high grade on, but the fact that, again, they got a linebacker there, him and Kobe Dean, will be having a really good find, and Zach Vaughn. This is just going to be a ridiculous Eagles, defense, and the fact, again, they really did have a great draft, which we'll talk about next week. Again, it's just really good for them. Chiefs, Josh Simmons, again, I don't love him as a prospect overall, but the fact that he's decently high on my big board, again, looking at these positional rankings here, where is he? Freaking Josh Simmons is 7 on my board. He was, again, the best tackle there. Again, they do need tackle pretty badly, so they addressed the need. You can't really be mad about it. And then, again, wrapping this all up, these last 4 guys, Malachi Starks to the Ravens. Who the hell let that happen? Yeah, him and Kyle Hamilton will probably be one better safety dudes in the league for a while. Tyreek Williams, they do need defensive tackles. Again, I like the depth they'll be putting there and the fact that, again, he does provide a little more stability on a down-and-down basis. They still need an edge rusher, though. I mean, Mike Green was on the board, so I don't like the pick there, to be honest with you. Not the player, but the pick. Again, Mike Green, bro, freaking top 8 prospect you could have drafted. But outside of that, I mean, you'll go with it. Josh Connerly Jr., perfect to the Commanders, adds depth. They'll figure that out. You'll be good with that. Bills, Maxwell Harrison, other guys on your board, again, injury concerns and all that, you'll be okay with it, especially the fact they do need a faster corner there. I love Christian Benford, but he's not your burner, that guy like Maxwell Harrison is. So you'll be okay with that pick there. But outside of that, that's all I got for you guys for my first round reactions from this draft, again, coming out here. Anyway, though, you'll be seeing my draft grades for every single NFL team next week. So until then, have some fun. I don't know, playoffs going on, baseball. It's a pretty cool time right now.
And this is for the win. Oh! It's close. They're going to call it. Did Gordon beat the buzzer?